The University of Botswana over in Africa offers Korean language courses as well as training in the Korean combat sport of Taekwondo. Accordingly, on Issues and Insiders today, we speak with two special guests currently engaged in these activities there. Welcome to yet another edition of Issues and Insiders. It's Wednesday, June 5th here in South Korea. I'm Min Sunhee. Today we speak with two individuals over in Botswana, Africa, who are actively engaged in Korean culture. I have Angela, a student at King Sejong Institute at the University of Botswana, live on the line. Angela, it's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you so much, Tanishi.
I also have Thabang, a Taekwondo practitioner, also at the University of Botswana. Thabang, it's great to have you on.
Thank you, ma'am.
Angela, let's start then with some details about the King Sejong Institute at the University of Botswana. When was it established? What courses does it offer? And how popular is it among the students there?
Thank you for that question. Sejong Hakdang, or King Sejong Institute, was first introduced to our university in 2019 as a language center. But as you may know, you can't learn a language without learning the culture as well. So not only is it a language center, it also offers cultural classes, for example, Korean music and dance like pansori, Korean cuisine or hansik, theater or cinema, fashion and beauty, and Korean customs and festivals. Also, there is a plethora of activities at King Sejong Institute. For example, each semester they hold cooking classes where we're taught how to make different Korean food like kimchi, pajeon, japchae, etc. And sometimes we have arts and crafts classes where we're taught how to make model Hangul villages, calligraphy, hanji, and so much more. So most of the time, these activities are open to the public, which has then created a buzz and a fondness of the institute by the general public as well. And it's open to people of all ages. So the institute has gained quite a lot of popularity over the years, and we can see this popularity growth by the number of new students registering each semester.
Right, I see. And Thabang, also at the University of Botswana is a Taekwondo club, I hear. Do tell us about its founding, its members, and a bit more.
Yeah, the club has been long established at the University of Botswana, but it was registered under the Register of Societies in 2021 under the guidance of Sabudim Shujuli. And this club has local, students and both civilians. We offer martial arts to both students and non-UB students, including the staff members of University of Botswana.
Right, I see. Meanwhile, Angela, could you walk us through your first encounter with Korean culture and then your eventual path to learning the Korean language?
Absolutely. My first encounter with Korean culture, I believe, was definitely in 2009 when dramas like Boys Over Flowers were first aired on our national TV channel. However, I didn't pay much attention to those because I was 10 years old at the time, and I really didn't grasp the meaning behind it. So it wasn't up until 2013 when I came across a culture program called Around Asia, which basically explored various Southeast Asian cultures. And on that particular day, they were discussing Korean cuisine. And of course, being such a huge fan of food, I was immediately captured. So I sat down and I watched the entire program on how to make Korean glass noodles. I remember it very well, how to make Korean glass noodles from scratch. And I was so interested. So towards the end of the program, they played a particular song that stuck with me called Hallyu Arirang. And for me, it wasn't just a song, it was an experience. I immediately told myself after Googling the lyrics and, I immediately fell in love with Korean language. And I told myself that I am going to learn this language no matter what it takes. But at the time, learning Korean wasn't as accessible as it is now. So I had no choice but to learn it on my own. Even when I started at university, it wasn't after until a while that the institute was introduced, but I'm glad now that it has been introduced because I now have students and other friends that I can share this wonderful journey with.
Right. Angela, have you tried cooking at King Sejong Institute? You mentioned that one of the activities there is cooking Korean food. Have you learned how to make glass noodles?
Of course, I'm an excellent cook because I love food. And I think the thing that I make the best has to be bibimbap. I'm not very good at glass noodles.
Right, bibimbap sounds great. Thabang, what triggered your interest in Taekwondo and how did you seek to master it without ever setting foot here in South Korea?
Well, I was fascinated by martial arts since a young age. So after I finished my Cambridge, while I was waiting for my results, I enrolled in some club at here, local club in Gaborone. So that's how I basically enrolled in this. Also for fitness and self-defense.
Right. Why Taekwondo though, Thabang? Because we have Chinese martial arts as well.
Yeah, basically other clubs there was a monthly fee which were to be paid. So I couldn't afford those monthly fees. So I ended up asking one of my friends to take me with when he was going for training because Taekwondo was offered for free in that club.
Right, I see. Angela, meanwhile, on a personal level, would you say that Korean is a tough language to learn?
I would say it's not difficult or tough per se, but nor is it easy. Because learning a language requires a lot of dedication and plenty of your time. If you stop, you might forget. But once you grasp the basics of Korean, of the Korean alphabet, it's almost smooth sailing from then. It will become super easy. And I myself am quite good at memorizing. So in terms of vocabulary, I think Korean would be easy in terms of vocabulary. However, when it comes to grammar, that's where the tricky part comes in because Korean has a lot of grammatical rules that you have to pay attention to each time. So I would say that it's both easy and tough, but it's fun, so it's worth it.
Angela, what was it like having to distinguish between the polite form and the casual form with regard to learning Korean language?
It was the tricky part actually for me was switching to casual Korean because I was so used to speaking formally. So now when we got to a point where you're supposed to speak casually to maybe kids, I would find myself using honorifics with kids. So that was quite tricky.
Right, that must have been funny as well. Thabang, what do you believe is the appeal of Taekwondo and how would you rate its popularity in Botswana?
It's the appeal of Taekwondo in Botswana. I would say basically the mental benefits and physical benefits. We all know that engaging in physical activities help us with the physical aspect and also the mental aspect. We also have like self-defense whereby individuals have to protect themselves from individuals who would possess the equipment or the belongings. So basically, I think that's our appeal in Taekwondo. And then I would say it's quite moderate when it comes to popularity in our country. It's not that popular, but as the youth and as the University of Botswana Taekwondo Club, we're trying to promote the sports by opening other clubs together with my teammates. There's establishment of other clubs and also the governing body is coming with initiatives that would spread Taekwondo from grassroots level. They are trying to introduce it in our local schools here in Botswana.
And Thabang, very briefly, on a personal level, what are you trying to do to further perhaps raise interest in Taekwondo there?
Yeah, like I said, we have clubs. I'm trying to open other clubs together with my teammates. And there's also a series of competitions which the University of Botswana holds annually. So there's a championship coming in October to promote the sport. And
Right.
we also have some campaigns whereby we try to teach the public about this. We also do a bit of demonstrations in the school and outside the school to promote this sport.
Right, I see. And Angela, with much gratitude, of course, Korea itself has been seeing a much interest in its music, movies and drama in recent years across the globe. How do you explain this international interest in Korean entertainment? I mean, what would you say is the appeal of Korean dramas, its screen productions, as well as music, of course?
Absolutely. I would definitely attribute it to a number of reasons. Firstly, number one being the high production quality, emphasis on quality of Korean content definitely stands out. Being a general media studies graduate, I can confidently say that when it comes to Korea, they have one of the best camera qualities in the whole world. So you have shows, Korean shows like Crash Landing on You, Descendants of the Sun. You have Parasites, such a wonderful movie, which has actually won an Academy Award in America for Best Picture. So this shows the meticulous attention by Korean producers to detail and innovative storytelling. And then secondly, I think the themes that are explored in Korean dramas and films are universally relatable, yet they're uniquely presented. For example, you have My Liberation Notes, which is a Korean drama that delves into issues like survival, societal expectation, pressure, life's challenges, and overall the importance of family. Additionally, when it comes to Korean music, particularly K-pop, K-pop has seen a massive rise in global popularity. You have groups like Monsta X, EXO, GOT7, Blackpink, and they have amassed a massive international following thanks to their wonderful music, their unique choreography, and their strong social media presence. You open a TikTok, you will definitely see a K-pop video. And you have BTS, which their albums have topped charts worldwide. So this shows that definitely Korean pop culture has a very, very broad appeal.
Right. Meanwhile, Thabang, how effective do you suppose has Korea's sports diplomacy been in perhaps promoting a favorable image of Korea in Botswana and in Africa?
Yeah, there's educational and training programs. They usually deploy masters and instructors to come teach us about the art of Taekwondo. And then there's also supporting for local Taekwondo organizations. Like they help us with equipment, books, so that we can also learn and do train while we are here in Africa. And then there's a scholarship and educational opportunities whereby the Korean usually the cookie one, they usually offer courses. So usually Southern African countries, they deploy athletes to cookie one to enhance the martial art skills.
Right, I see. Angela, up until now, we've spoken about interest in Korean culture there in Botswana, and I'd like now to talk a bit about Botswana's beauty, because I personally am very interested in that country. I've had the pleasure of visiting countries in the east part of Africa, and I was wondering if you could share with us one aspect of your country that you'd like our audience here in Korea to know about.
Well, thank you so much for that question. I would definitely say Botswana is known for its vibrant traditional music and dance, which is called Borangana. However, there isn't a direct translation to this, but different ethnic groups in the country or different tribes have different names for it, but it simply just means traditional dance. So these dances often involve drumming, dancing, call and response singing, where you have one individual singing and the other responding in singing as well. And these dances usually tell a story of the Tswana people, of Botswana. They were originally done to honor and venerate our ancestors, but now it's done for honoring ancestors as well as a form of entertainment.
Right, Angela, it's called Murangana, you said.
Borangana.
Burangana, I see. And Thabang, what about you? What aspect of Botswana would you like to share?
I would say Boto, like the concept of Boto, which embodies respect, compassion, and community as a central to Botswana's social fabric. Sharing stories that illustrate Boto can resonate within the Korean viewers, highlighting the shared values of respect and community found in both cultures.
Right, I see. Angela, what are your plans for the rest of the year with regard to learning Korean?
Well, I obviously plan to continue with my Korean studies for as long as I have the opportunity. Right now, I'm at an intermediary level, so I do aspire to reach an advanced level. That would take time and effort, but I'm definitely motivated to do so. For now, I am currently studying to take the Korean proficiency exam by the end of this year, which is quite notorious for being difficult, but I believe that with a little perseverance, I can do it. I'm also tutoring this year. I'm tutoring Botswana students Korean, and I'm also tutoring Korean individuals English. So I'm hoping that by the end of this year, I would be able to expand that practice and eventually become an acclaimed language professor.
Oh, best of luck with that, Angela. And do you have any plans of visiting South Korea in the future, do you think?
Absolutely. I've been there before and I didn't want to leave. So I cannot wait for an experience to go there again, particularly Busan. I have to go to Busan.
Right, the southern resort port city of Busan. It's a beautiful place, I have to agree.
Absolutely.
Right. And Thabang, what about you? What are your plans for the rest of this year? And also, can we expect to see your team at the LA Olympics in the year 2028, do you think?
And definitely, we'll be there.
Right. And what about your short-term plans then?
Yeah, basically, is to push Taekwondo. We train, and I think with the upcoming events, we'll just prepare for those events. And then I also wish to come in South Korea to further extend my knowledge about Taekwondo. I think that's pretty much it. We just keep on pushing, train harder.
Right, with the greater concept of Boto. Is it, Thabang, that you were saying earlier?
Yes.
All right, best of luck then. Thank you so much, Thabang, for your time and your thoughts today. And Angela, thank you very much for your insights.
Thank you so much.
Right, well, that is all the time we have for this edition of Issues and Insiders. Tomorrow, that is Thursday, June 6th, is a public holiday here in South Korea in honor of the selfless sacrifice of our soldiers. That being said, see you same time on Friday.